I've got a report here that says 169 House members want exclusions from China tariffs. They want carve-outs for their particular interests. Would you allow that? I know you're at the heart of the trade discussions with China. Would you allow that?
Look, Secretary Wilbur Ross is looking at all that stuff. I don't think we're giving large numbers of carve-outs at the moment.
But some?
This is with respect to the China trade.
Yep, some carve-outs?
I don't want to say, because I think Wilbur is looking at it right now. And so he's going through a process. So I don't want to get ahead of his curve. Maybe yes, maybe no. But, Stu, China's a problem. China is a problem. They have not responded to our asks, okay? And it's not just the trade deficit per se. It's the theft of the IP. It's the forced transfer of technology. They just put a new rule in China about cybersecurity where the police are allowed to hack in to American and other foreign companies. That's outrageous. They're going the complete wrong direction here. So,
well, they're taking the hard line.
Unsatisfactory.
They take the hard line as we take the hard line. I mean, it's an absolute impasse at the moment.
Listen,
do you think that China's strategy is to wait until after the midterms in the hopes that the GOP loses the House and they have more leverage?
If that is their thinking, they better rethink their thinking. Because, look, the House may change hands or not. I think it's going to be very close. The president is not going to change his view. Point number one. China has got to come back into the world of lawful trading practices. They are not. And everybody around the world knows that. We just signed a tripartite agreement with the EU, USA, and Japan, criticizing, quote, non-market economies, read China. The whole world knows that China is wrong. So, look, elections, fine, whoever comes out in the House and so forth. The president is not going to change his view. And by the way, the Democratic Party is not going to be loose with China. I mean, they're running against trade. Both candidates, as you know, in 2016 ran against the Pacific trade and in general. They're tough. This is an era where the United States is defending its economic rights for our workers and manufacturers and our overall economy. China will miscalculate if they think there's going to be some change in November, regardless of who wins. Miscalculation. Now, the president will probably meet with President Xi at the G20 in Argentina. I'll be there. Steve, everyone's going to be there. We will see whether that, person-to-person diplomacy yields any benefits. I think it's always better to talk than not to talk. But right now, they have been unsatisfactory. I want to see a trade deal. I have become very cynical because we've given our ask and China does not respond. And I worry, Stu, that they're moving in the wrong direction with a more closed economy and a less liberal economy. And the great reforms of Deng Xiaoping years ago have basically been abandoned.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a trouble spot.
Saudi Arabia. If America decides that some form of punishment is required when we figure out exactly what happened, if there is some form of punishment, it cannot be too severe because you don't want to break the diplomatic relationship with Saudi Arabia and the alliance against Iran.
That's an important point. But I will add the president's point. First of all, they're innocent until proven guilty, point number one. Point number two, they promised a very thorough investigation, and there'll be many people observing that investigation. So we will have to see where the facts lead us. The president has said, if it does turn out that the allegations of the Saudis murdering this guy is true, he will take very strong action. He will take very strong action. That is his style. And without getting ahead of him on this, I will just say people should believe him when he said they will take action. That is his style. Believe him. But we have to wait and see what the evidence brings.
As you obviously know, Larry, this is red tape cutting day here at the White House, and that's why we're here.
Yes.
Earlier, Mick Mulvaney, OMB guy, sat in your chair right there.
Really? Did he fit the chair? Was okay? It's a long time for him.
I know, mine too. He said deregulation, the deregulation of the last 2 years is the mainstay of the growth that we've seen in the economy. Do you think he's going a bit far on that?
No. I think particularly in 2017, the deregulation started everywhere across the board, especially energy, by the by. And I think that started this push and started the small business push and the blue-collar hiring. Then comes the tax rate reduction, which adds to it on the incentive front. So they're working very much together. Again, I use my example. A woman starts and owns a small business, okay? She can survive because now the red tape costs are vastly reduced, and she can survive because she can keep more of what she earns with the lower tax rates. That is huge. And we lowered the small business tax rate. Take a look at, take a look.
I got a hard break
at the small. I know.
You remember those days?
I'm in this business.
You remember those days?
Take a look at the confidence surging in the NFIB small business.
We saw it.
Quite remarkable.
And we've reported it extensively. Larry Kudlow, shake that hand because it's great to see you again, sir. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.